It was about time.
Black Friday event of 2024 is here, guys. The countdown has started and let's see what we're getting this year. Hello gang, welcome to the channel, and today, as I predict on my previous tier list video, actually my previous video was smash or pass for all uniforms, kind of a guide and tier list, because we're gonna get a 50% discount at Black Friday. And as you can see, Black Friday countdown event is already in the game, and you can figure out yourself that in a couple of days, like 9 days it says here, but it's already 2 days on. So in like 10 days, the Black Friday is gonna start, and we're gonna have the discounts, we're gonna have all the extra packs. But also until then, we're gathering some gifts from the developers, and I'm saying gifts from the developers because yeah, you can see that the value of the items that you're picking up is pretty ridiculous. I mean, 300 BAM, 2 million gold. It's less than what you get on 1 day of dailies or something. It's disgusting generally. All the rewards seems really bad. I mean, there is the audience blessing that it's random, but you have also a selector for awakened character. Yes, in 2024, as it seems, we need selectors for awakened characters, and we're gonna break through on him. We're gonna see what characters perhaps we're gonna get, what characters we took last year, what's the best picks to go for, you know, characters that can be tier 4, characters that can support, characters that can be used for Alliance Conquest. There are multiple choices out there that you don't sleep on them, actually, guys. Don't sleep on these picks, because, you know, if you're a new player or a player that counting every single material, here you know that in 10 days you can have a character and you don't need to mess with his gears, you don't need to do anything. So let's go. And yes, by the way guys, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Every single time more and more people watching my videos, and more of them are not subscribed. So smash it, guys, come on. You're watching the video, you like it, you smash it, subscribe. So let's go and see what we took last year and in the previous year. Let's explain the problem, why I'm going last year. Yeah, in this selector they're not mentioning here what characters we're going to get. They're actually saying that the characters that gonna be picked up, you can see them only in the game. That means that only in 10 days from now we're gonna be sure 100% what characters we're going to get. And this is kind of weird because every single time you can see last year it was actually, it's 2 million gold, it's 200 BAM, now it's 300. So yeah, really bad rewards on that, you know, tier 4 materials, artifact or whatever, you know. It's time that they should start giving away. And in the previous year, this is the countdown event of 2023, as you can see, and they give exactly the same, but in this case they include all the characters that you could pick from this selector. So these characters here are 24. I include them into a tier list to show you about these characters, that we can be 100% sure that these characters are going to be on this Awaken, because what they are doing actually is getting the 2 years ago Awaken character of the game that they are free to play. They are not included in Epic Quest, they are not X-Men, they are not Mutant, and they are not Paywall, they are not Crystal Wall, they are not, you know, it's only the pure free to play characters that you can pick their bios from selectors or actually from the Dimension Mission chest, you know, etc, etc. So the characters that they include every single time is the 2 years ago characters, and before 1 year this was the 24. In this, you know, in this year we have some of them come into this pool, and a lot of them are kind of really bad characters that they didn't get any uniform. So I'm not gonna include like characters like Rhino, Lizard, you know, Warrior 3. These are characters that could be included, and I looked into the game and I couldn't find an Awaken selector to go into the shop and check out which characters perhaps are included. I find one on the Marvel shop, web shop, the new web shop, and on the new web shop they actually include Ghost Rider Robbie Reyes, which is really useful, Mysterio, which is seasonal, Nebula, and couple of others. And that's why I'm gonna include some of the characters that I believe that there is value in them, and I'm gonna skip including, you know, all the characters that they didn't took actually an update this year. I looked into the game also for any Awaken selector, so I can, you know, compare these two, but there is nothing right now on sale. At least I couldn't find any. There are only, you know, things that you need to take the BIOS and stuff like that. So I made my own tier list, and my tier list, in first place, you know, I'm gonna include only the 24 characters that we had on 2023, and after I'm gonna add some extra that I believe can deserve to be here, and perhaps we get them. So as you can see, there are multiple choices here and there, so I'm gonna break down one by one why I believe you should pick this character or you shouldn't. I don't have the uniforms, the last uniforms on the icons, because you know, when you get the character, you need to consider that you need also to buy the latest uniform. I did, you know, but picking the character from the selector doesn't mean that gonna make the character useful day one. You need to buy the uniform. So yeah, let's start. I put them into random places, you know, and let's start from one by one. You know, one by one to explain you the place for it. I have 5 columns here. It's the tier 4 good, means that this character here, you can pick him from this selector, you can buy the last uniform, you can make the character tier 4 and go into content day 1, and he's gonna be really busted. The second tier 4 mid are tier 4, you know, at least you can get tier 4 with this character. You know, there are characters that they are left behind, that they didn't get any update anytime soon. This is the garbage characters, and you know, I'm not suggesting you to buy the garbage characters, but the tier 4 mid, you know, it's characters that at least can be tier 4 if you want to, you know, and they can do some content. I'm gonna explain one by one. After that, there is the Alliance Conquest only, and that means that this character can actually help you, but for specific content. Support is characters that they are characters really strong and really badass, supporting other characters for ABX, ABL, World Boss Legend. You know, you can't go World Boss Legend plus with just Awaken character, that's why I'm not mentioning, but World Boss Legend, GBR, you know, if you have an Awaken, you can use him as support everywhere in the game except the World Boss Legend plus. So let's start already. Enough of chatty. And on supports, I would include actually leads, support or leads. Actually, it's the right way to go, and I did that because of my boy Bullseye. Guys, Bullseye is the best. Believe it or not, he is the best for actually one ABX villain combat day that getting resetted, and you can use him twice. Even if you use Dr. Octopus or even if you use Hulk, the best lead to go is this character with his second uniform. With his second uniform, he becomes villain, combat villain. I think it's uniform that you need to spend gold, so do not sleep on Bullseye, guys. He is busted. Whatever you pick, you know, even he's better than giving Hulk Taskmaster support and Hulk's lead. Believe it or not, I made a video for Abomination and I did some changes. I tried my Hulk with him lead, with Bullseye lead or his own lead with Taskmaster, and believe it or not, Bullseye is so busted. All of the players that playing, you know, high level ABX, ABL using him as lead for ABX combat villain. So do not sleep on him, and he's free. Drax is kind of outdated. He is kind of mid for Alliance Conquest, but you know, if you are like super fan of him, you can pick him and play with him with his last uniform. Essa Bloodstone never took an update. He is Awaken without uniform, or he has a uniform really old or something, so she is hot garbage. She can provide the lead, to be honest, but still the lead is you know, really bad. I'm gonna put the characters, you know, on the list here with the best character to worst character. So Heimdall is better than Drax, 100%. He is really busted for Alliance Conquest. Amadeus Cho Hulk is really bad on everywhere in the game. Hulkbuster is really strong for Alliance Conquest, but he is also tier 4, so I could include him on both. With his last uniform, even at level 80, he performs really nice on Alliance Conquest, but in my mind, you know, he doesn't really deserve to be a tier 4, but also you can use him as lead and support of your Iron Man. So if you are a hardcore fan of Iron Man and put him as lead with the last uniform, it's the biggest leadership you can find in the game. So for Iron Man only, I repeat. Also, he provides a buff for Alliance Conquest, the characters that they are considered mechanic. There are some. I'm not gonna say you now who are they, but yeah. Mid-tier, but still can be tier 4. From the other side, Human Torch took an update and he is one of the best characters to go for World Boss Legend. He has multiple tags. In some cases, you know, if you end up having all the characters in the game, you know, perhaps you don't need him, but as a starter for an account, getting a tier 4 Human Torch, you know, it's gonna burst down your progress for World Boss Legend 100%. He is busted. But consider that if you have like Cable and Dr. Octopus from the native tier 2s and you are already, you know, in an account that it's really strong, you don't actually need him because his tags is covered either from Cable as combat hero or as a blast hero, or Doctor Strange as human blast. That there are weird restrictions on World Boss Legend, but yes, Human Torch it's still one of the strongest character to go for. The only downside is that he's having no use outside ABX and ABL, only on PvE like Shadowland, GBR and World Boss Legend you can find him sign. Iron Fist, pretty garbage, you can't actually use him anywhere in the game. Jessica Jones is a support for Alliance Conquest, but herself is not helping a lot, so she's worse than Drax in my mind. Luke Cage can be like here, he is one of the OGs Alliance Conquest, you know. He has the Defender team with Jessica Jones, and you can include anyone else actually, perhaps Iron Fist too, but Iron Fist is B-tier, really bad. So yeah, Luke Cage is still busted. America Chavez, one of the best supports for Alliance Conquest specifically. I'm not include here in supports here because you don't want to get America Chavez and go for any other content than Alliance Conquest. And it's so specific because you're not going to see on Timeline Battle, you're not going to see on World Boss Legend, you know. She's not useful anywhere else, Alliance Conquest. But the team that she's going to provide the buff on Alliance Conquest, and if you have her last uniform, she is really strong and she can put you down, you know, really strong characters. Another garbage here is Medusa, but here with an asterisk, you know, because Medusa could get something until the end of the year. She was on the characters, on the favorite characters of the people like you and me, you know, from the game. And you know, Netmarble should give her something until the end of 2024, so Medusa could get something, but at the moment she's really bad. The only good thing she's doing with her last uniform is supporting Black Bolt and nothing else. If you picked up Black Bolt's uniform, you know, you can combine here with him and get some value. Red Guardian has a lead for Alliance Conquest with HP. He's kind of good there, but really bad, you know. Perhaps here it's his place, yeah. Red Skull, hot garbage also. Sif, one of the best lead supports in the game with the last uniform. She provides Actually, it's only for combat, her lead, but her support, it's for everyone. It's boss against, it's damage against boss types. So yeah, you can use her, and she's meta for 1 day of ABXL. It's actually 1 day of ABX, the combat female. She's good lead and support for Hope Summers. Silk, a really bad character, you know. She has a paywall uniform that no one bought, and I have it actually, sadly, but still she's not usable anywhere in the game right now. Swordmaster, same thing, hot garbage. I could say, you know, you can find some use for Swordmaster in Alliance Conquest, but yeah, there are so many others being really good. Think is a support for your Human Torch, so you can use him with his last uniform or not and give him support. But other than that, he is doing nothing. He is support only for Fantastic Four, and Fantastic Four actually right now in the game they are kind of B-tier, you know. Only Human Torch signs for World Boss Legend. The rest are, you know, okay, Alliance Conquest team. With Pretty Busted, Mr. Fantastic or Sue Storm, you know, and then you can see them sign. You need Franklin's artifact. It's so bullshit, the Fantastic Four situation, that yeah, I'm not recommending him at all. And this is a Warrior of the Sky, Wartiger. If you have the other Warriors of the Sky, he is the Warrior of the Sky that left behind, because he's providing a buff, but still the others seems to provide better buffs. And yes, no one is using him on the team of 3, because the Defenders of the Sky, the Warriors of the Sky actually are 4, and always everyone is using Blue Dragon, Shadow Cell and Sunbird. But yeah, you can use instead of Shadow Cell him. He is cool. As a standalone character, I would say he's like here, he's strong, but yes, nothing special. Dr. Octopus is the meta for still the meta actually after 2 years being into the game. He is doing crazy damage, but if you want to do that crazy damage, you need to play it like hacker. You need to have a really busted build. And the other, you know, the other option for these days that he is meta for ABL and ABX, it's Hulk, that you can actually drink a beer and play him. He's really easy compared to him. But still, if you feel like you're a busted player, really good player, Dr. Octopus can perform really nice only at tier 4, busted build and crazy gameplay. So yeah, it's up to you. The other character here is Gamora. And Gamora, in my mind, on this list is really important character. Do not sleep on Gamora. Other than she provides a lead for speed types and physical attack, actually for physical attack, the point here is that Gamora is the alternative having in your account if you wanna go through Gwenpool for ABL. If you build Gwenpool for ABL, she is the best character after Luna to cover the speed days. And if you consider that, you know, Luna needs to be human to be used on ABL. So Gwenpool, because she is a human, in ABL you don't need hero, you need human speed. So Gwenpool covers everything, but then you have a gap on your ABX characters. So on your ABX speed hero, Gamora is the best character to go for and perform with a proccing obelisk, with a CDP of energy, without a crazy build. At level 80, she can do more than 13 million for my account with an obelisk. She is really busted. If you manage to proc proper, it's really easy actually to do. You cancel everything into her 5th skill. She's really strong, and you can, you know, have Gwenpool for ABL and Gamora for ABX, because Gwenpool cannot cover ABX, and for ABX she covers 2 days, one of the female villain and the other is the speed villain, but the hero speed is empty for you, so you need someone to cover these days, and Gamora can perform even without a tier 4. After that we have Moonight. Moonight needs to be tier 4 to do damage. He's kind of mid. Even if he is tier 4, he is really mid actually. He is one of the worst damage dealers right now from the tier 4s. But yes, you can figure out yourself, use him, and have great results if you build him stacked, you know, and you can sacrifice a lot of things on him. So after that, we have two more tier 4s left. One is Saducell and the other is Spider-Gwen. So let's start from Saducell and Spider-Gwen. I put Spider-Gwen here and I put Saducell here, and I do that, but you have to consider that Saducell is doing better damage than Spider-Gwen for Wall Boss Legend with just an obelisk. If you wanna go there and play, you know, kill Wall Boss Legend, you can get your Saducell, give her her last uniform, and do a lot of shit, you know. And also she can be used as you know, Alliance Conquest team with Wartiger, that what I was saying before. If you have Sandberg to revive them, etc, etc, she's strong for that. But the point is that Spider-Gwen is a really good alternative if you don't wanna go for Gwenpool, and if you don't wanna mess with Gamora. Spider-Gwen can cover all the days, Luna can cover, but you have to consider that even with same build, even with you know, if you go and put an energy on her performance is going to be worse than Gamora. If you go and put a rage, she's gonna perform a bit better than Gamora at tier 4 only. At level 80, Gamora is better than Spider-Gwen, and also Spider-Gwen is way worse than Gwenpool for ABL. So I'm not suggesting you to go for her, but you have to consider that she's really strong with a busted build. Perhaps, you know, she's equal with Saducell. I could put her here too. I'm not 100% sure, but yes, that's how the list should look like with the 2023 characters that we had, you know, into the past. And let me go and include some more. So yes, you know what, I'm not gonna include a lot of characters, I'm gonna include only these two. It's Angela and Robbie Reyes, and you have to consider that Angela is meta for ABX and ABL for some days. If you miss Satana and Morgan, Angela probably is gonna be included because she took an update 2 years ago, so she's probably hitting in this. And Robbie Reyes also is a really good support for Human Torch and your Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider, he was seasonal, you know, a couple of weeks ago, so both of them can be used for multiple things here. Angela, the most important. From the other Awaken that exist and they are going to be included, it's, as I told you, Warrior 3, Scourge perhaps, you know, Lizard, Rhino, and this kind of characters that they never took an update, so I don't feel like there is any important other character to include in my tier list. So that's how it looks like. That's my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know down below in the comments what are you going to pick from these characters and what's your plan in the future. Also, I'm gonna include this tier list link on my description, and you can go there, you know, on the description of the video, and you can go there and pick it and make your own tier list and share it in our Discord, that there is a special channel for tier list, and you know, people can go there and talk with others about their opinion on how strong characters are and what they should go and pick. So I hope I helped you decide what you're gonna pick. In a couple of days on this selector. See you into the next, and let's hope that later on they're gonna add super busted gifts for Black Friday, like tier 4 selector finally, and we all smile at the end of the Black Friday. Kisses in your faces!